turn your angst into Toni Bergins. And today I've got the amazing Julia. How do I say your last name, Julia?
Mikk.
Julia Mikk. And I'm going to do my thing first. Fangirling. And feel the fan coming your way. We're fangirling everyone.
Aww.
I have invited some of the most amazing people into this summit. Everyone who I've met, I know most of the people on the summit, and you are more new to me than most people, but I just found your energy so captivating and so beautiful and so soothing and so grounded and so like soft and divine and feminine that I wanted to invite you to come onto the summit, because I know you talk about breath. Everybody talks about breath, the breath of love. And I'm going to read your bio a little bit. So first I will say a few things about this amazing woman. So Julia lives in Boulder right now, but she's from Estonia, which is amazing. And she's an internationally renowned healer and best-selling author, and her work is called Breath of Love, and she certifies people all over the world, which is so exciting. And, you know, the breathwork process is something that I've definitely explored, and I'm really excited. She's going to offer us a little, we're going to do a 5 to 7 minute experience with Julia today, so please stay on for that. But the Breath of Love is a meditative breathwork process where she wants to change the world. And that is why I asked her to be on the summit. So this is a process where you receive deep emotional, physical healing. And she encourages people to live their soul purpose. I love that. And her bio is so amazing. She studied with some of the most incredible teachers, including Gangaji and other amazing people, and some Peruvian shamans, as well as, I don't know everybody on this list, but it is long and beautiful. You can tell us about anybody you want to as we go. But she went through a lot of difficult times, a lot of which I can relate to. And that's why I thought it'd be wonderful to have her here to show how we can transform our lives through the creativity of taking what healed you and making it into something for this world. And that, I think, is one of the keys, that transmutation. So there's so much more to this beautiful bio, but she masterfully weaves her own realizations of non-duality, breathwork, shamanic studies, cranial sacral therapy, and psychotherapy into the breath of love. So we're going to ask her a bunch of questions now about how she came to this path. Hello.
I love it. So good to be with you. We just so enjoy the aliveness moving through, like you're dancing while talking, like speaking of creativity, like fully alive in each moment.
You're so sweet. That's such sweet of you to say. I do have a lot of energy.
I love it. Yeah.
Well, how did you feel hearing your bio and just hearing like a little bit about how you're perceived like on the outside? Doesn't that feel interesting?
Yeah, it is.
And beautiful.
Yeah, it's a reminder of how far I have come with my life and how much has transformed and opened up. And, you know, a lot of it is what we are here to talk about.
I love that. Please, let's start with that. So talk to me about your creative life and how you've created this life of now leading people in your healing modality that healed you. I ask everyone on the summit, like, how have you healed and what is your creative form through which you do that?
I love that. Actually, I love how you said created your life, because my creativity actually is about how to create my reality consciously, intentionally, and how to help other people create their reality. Like the creation of reality is art in itself. Like, of course, painting is art, and amazing painters out there, amazing musicians, amazing comedians, and my art is life. Like, how can I create my life, like paint a painting of my life the way my heart wants, the way my soul is meant to.
Yes.
So that's my art. And a lot of it is healing, but the healing is really to let go of the blocks, fears, insecurities, old traumas, to allow the power of our innermost intelligence to come through to paint the kind of life we most desire.
I love that. And it so resonates with me. I know we're going to work together in the near future. So, you know, the dance work that I do is a similar vein, how I, you know, with the work, not me, but the dancer dislodges, you know, the stuckness in the body, and energy begins to move. And I know that the breath is so key to all of that. Please talk to us did you discover, like, what on your journey of through all the healing from what I didn't share all of what you've been through in your bio, but you talked about, depression, bulimia, anorexia, different really intense things for the body that so many women especially struggle with, and men too, but it's much more of I think the body stuff is a lot more focused on women in our current society at this time period. How did you come to the breath of love?
Well, it started when I was a teenager, so over 20 years ago, and I
Yes.
was still in Estonia. That's where I was born. And I went through this awakening process where nothing satisfied me in my life. I actually lived in Dublin, where this awakening started, in Dublin, Ireland.
Yes.
And it happened so that I got the job I really loved. I never had such a fancy job. I was a supervisor in a restaurant. It's not a big deal, but for me, it was a big deal. Like, oh my God, I'm a manager. And I had more money than I ever had in my life. And I looked good, and I was sexy, and I was seductive, and I had my own, issues why I was so seductive. But I also got a lot of attention from men. So everything I ever wanted, like an amazing job, a lot of money, a lot of attention from opposite gender, all of that I had. And all of a sudden I had this awakening. Wait a second, everything I have ever wanted, I have. Why do I still feel empty?
Oh my God, I just want to pause you right there. This is the question. I literally wrote a blog post today about reawakening passion, because this is the question. If we're not living on our purpose and on our creativity, this is it. So please tell us more.
Yeah, and I feel so blessed that I didn't go on a trip that, I just need another $1 million, or I need 2 more cars, or I need 2 other men, or I need a beautiful home. Like somehow I didn't go on that trip, thank God, because some people spend their whole life just wanting another $1 million, or another relationship, or a better home, or better car, or
and that's all the conditioning of our society.
Yeah, so somehow I didn't go there, thank God. So for me, it felt like everything I had ever wanted, I got, and I still felt like deep inside of me, something was completely missing. And it was this epiphany. I was like, holy crap, what else is out there? Like, what would fill this hole? And that's when I started reading all kinds of spiritual books and getting curious about meditation. I was in Dublin just for a year, so eventually went back to Estonia, and the same journey continued. Like, what else is out there? I was hungry. I was just starving. Like, there must be something else available. I went to every possible workshop on meditation, reading tarot cards, yoga, dance, anything.
I'm sure that everyone watching,
anything I could find.
Yeah.
All of it was good. And the most profound breakthrough came when I went to a workshop that was about breath. And it was with one of my first teachers at that time. It was called spiritual breathing. That's his body work. And what happened with the power of this breath and power of surrender that got cultivated through the breath, everything got unlocked inside me, where I remembered the power, the creativity, the bliss, the intelligence that I am at the core of my being. And it was such a visceral experience. It wasn't reading another book. It wasn't reading a book or listening to a podcast or talking to a friend. I could feel it in every cell of my body, this remembering of my divinity, really. And
that
it was
is so
embodied.
That visceral feeling.
Visceral is such a key for me, and
remember, in a similar vein, I just want to share, I know that people who are listening are very similar to both of us, probably been to many workshops, read many books. I remember when I first went to the dance floor that one time, the very first time where I had my big visceral aha moment, very similar to me doing breath work, because I do breath work as well. I don't teach it. I go to breath work. And whenever I do, I just, oh my God, that to me is the ultimate talking to, spirit without using plant medicines. It's really talking, it is. I mean, it's the ultimate talking to spirit directly without using plant medicines. And even for more for me than meditation, yoga. I mean, in dance, I go there because that's where I go. That's my personal medicine. But the breath work, there's nothing better for me than breath work and dance. I mean, it's just epic. And I know that feeling when that visceral moment comes where you realize, oh my God, I am soul. I am divine spark. I am God, goddess, source, connection moving through me. It's it's crazy epiphany. So
I have tears in my eyes. I'm so inspired talking to you, because I feel I'm the other version of you, where I teach breath work, but I go to other people to dance.
Great.
Because
Perfect.
for me, it's the same thing. Like in breath work, in breath of love work, but in particular, it's about surrendering to the divine intelligence, the creative spark inside. But it's the surrender that needs to go deep inside. And you go on a journey that just helps you remember who you are. And then it fills up your body, your heart, your mind, and then it wants to be expressed. And then for me, is where the dance comes in. And how can we now help it to be expressed? Because that's the learning we need to express this power in the world.
I love that.
It cannot be just meditation. And to me, it also cannot be just expression. I also work with a lot of people who try to express and be creative, get things done. But on the inside, they don't have like the place where they have found the key yet. They haven't found that inner pillar from where the inner guidance comes from, or from where their inner power comes from. So they're trying to express from this outer layer, doing more, dancing more, yogaing more. Right. It comes from outside layer instead of going to the deepest core of the divine inside of them and letting that become the expression into the world.
I love that, and finding that connected energy of life force, which is, definitely the way I feel creativity. For me, like when I come to either a song or a dance, I'm really dropping in so deeply to find what needs to be expressed in this moment. It's not like just coming from the mind, right? It's coming from a visceral experience. And I do it through emotion as well. I'm curious for you, when I first did breath work, like I did it, many, many years ago, and I did it recently, and I did it like lots of it, and then not a lot, and then a whole bunch, and I've had but most experiences, I do burst into some kind of catharsis. I cannot lie. I usually cry like crazy afterwards, during. I'm curious how that impacts you.
So in breath of love work, it's actually very different from every other breathwork modality I have come across. Like, I love all breathworks out there. You may be leaning more towards holotropic or rebirthing breathwork. That's really
I've done
well
lots
known.
But yes.
And it's good body work that brings on catharsis. In breath of love, it's actually more based on trauma healing. And in trauma healing, we actually do not want to go to catharsis because it can recapitulate the nervous system state of overwhelm. We actually don't want the nervous system to go into overwhelm, because it will only perpetuate the pattern of overwhelm that the person has in their everyday life.
Yes.
So actually in breath of love, we go to a place that could be very powerful, but it's also extremely peaceful. So it's more about serenity and peace. And there's a quality of power that awakens, that fills person's body, that can feel very like intense and expansive, yet it's very peaceful. And it has a soothing quality to it. Like when you describe me as soothing. So for me, it's about how can we be in our greatest power, but also in the deepest peace. Like, power doesn't have to mean overwhelm. Power doesn't have to mean catharsis. Power doesn't have to mean working too hard. There could be peace and power together. And a lot of it is about rewiring how nervous system functions.
Yes.
And a lot of it's about bringing healing to some deeper places of hurt and trauma that happened when we were little. Because all the patterns of catharsis or overwhelm usually begin when we are little. So we need to go very much to the core to release what's not serving us any longer.
Ooh, I would love, if you're willing, I think would be a great time to either lead us in a session, or just maybe share with us one more thing about how maybe something big that you healed in your own work. Because I think for me, I'll share with this, and this is why I've invited all these amazing artists to come on this podcast summit, is because, I healed so much of my layers when I first started the dance, because I came to the dance as a very fiery, somewhat disembodied, because I had so much trauma I didn't know about. And when I came into my body, I found this power that I didn't even know I had. And then I had to work with that power. And then I was able to work with my mind when I was in my body, and work with my emotions. And I healed myself, in a lot of ways, of course, with my beautiful, amazing therapists, but I did heal from bulimia as well. I know that was one of the things on your list. And so it's like, the reason why I keep teaching, even though I've done so much healing with my modalities, because now I want to share it with other people. So, and I just feel like I can't stop. Like now it's like, I have to share this with more people so more people can heal. And whatever they're healing, whether it's not good enoughness or deep core trauma, everything gets revealed when we go into these altered states, which is similar. But I love what you're saying about the soothingness. I don't know if you'd be willing to share maybe one thing that you heal and then take us into an experience. That'd be amazing. If you're,
Gosh, I don't know how to make it simple.
you don't make it simple. I'm good with whatever you say.
I think the biggest thing I have healed with my work is when I was completely burnt out in my life. It was over 15 years ago. I was already traveling the world, teaching workshops, and people's lives were changing. People's like chronic pain was going away, deep trauma was dissolving. They were finding the greatest purpose, but I was getting more and more sick.
Oh.
And at first, it didn't even bother me. That's okay. I'm helping people. I'm helping people. That's the most important thing. But it got worse and worse. I became bulimic. I basically burned myself completely out by helping others. Wow. And
that's a big
I'd
lesson.
done a lot of work until then, but that's when I got a chance to look at the really deep imprint, like a programming I had, where I thought that other people were more important than me. Like, I do things for others, let them feel better. Doesn't matter that I'm suffering. So a lot of clients I work with, they can resonate. Yeah.
Hang on. That was just so deep. We gotta stay there for a second. Oh my God. This is, a layer of programming that so many women have. So you are in the right place. I'm sure we're going to have a lot of men watching this summit as well. But for the women and men who have been programmed with that is so common, especially as, mothers, etc. Like really everyone is more important than us because we're here to and it's a very deep imprint. So I'm so glad that you were able to heal that. So how did you do that? What happened?
I mean, it was hard. I mean, I got really bulimic, utterly depressed. It was a dark night. I couldn't help anyone or everyone. Like it was a paradox that I made myself sick by helping everyone, but it led to not being able to help anyone at all.
Wow.
So I had to take a sabbatical and I let go of all my students, all my clients. I let go of my home.
Wow.
I just knew I had to heal. Like this was serious. Like I was deep. Like in a dark place and binging and throwing up like 3 times a day. It was just bad.
Just for emotional soothing, just to stay right. I get it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, bulimia is a whole
conversation
of its own.
Well, we can do another session.
Yes.
Sure. No, that's on my list for I'm going to do the body beautiful. I want to do something about the body beautiful, and we can talk about that then.
Yeah. Yeah. So I realized how bad things were when I couldn't come out of bulimia. I just couldn't. It was such a strong addiction. Like no matter what I did, I kept finding myself in it again and again. It was like a full-on addiction.
Well, because it is it's a nervous system addiction. I've studied it big time.
Same here. So I had to let go of everything to come home to myself and heal first of all. And it took actually 2 years to fully come back. The first year was like full-on healing, healers, therapists, breath work, breath of love. And actually now in retrospect, when I saw it, I have so much gratitude for that time because I learned tremendous amount about how to heal myself.
Oh, that's so wonderful.
Because there were many therapies and therapists I went to, they couldn't help. They were like, just stop being bulimic. And I'm like,
that's not working.
That's not helpful. Thank you very much. Here's $500. So it wasn't helpful. I was like, shit, like there must be something that actually helps. So it forced me to go to learning what is the healing for the deepest trauma, like how to heal something that actually creates a lasting healing for the rest of one's life. So it was a blessing in disguise at that time. And as I said, it took about 2 years to fully come back to feeling good. Like I was able to come out of bulimia. That took about a year. And then I started nourishing myself. I had to learn a lot about receiving.
Of course.
Remember, I talked about giving. Yes. I was a giver only for others. And I had to really shift it 180 degrees how to receive. And receiving isn't a mental conversation.
I can relate to that.
Body relationship.
Yeah,
you can relate.
I can relate to that. I mean, I'm much better now at receiving. I've taught for so many years, and I always wanted to be out there teaching and helping everybody. And then people would cry and have these amazing. And then I realized that I had shut off some of my emotions because I didn't want to be emotional. I wanted to hold a container. So the better I got at holding container for others, this is really deep. I was pulling back, and then recently in the last, I guess 10 years, I've been teaching for a long time. So 10 years around, I get now probably even in my 30s, I really did start to really cry and really allow myself to receive the healing again. It was like a similar thing. I did all the healing and then I had to heal myself again with the same. It's very interesting, this concept of putting others, especially as people who work with others who want to change the world, right? We have these passionate missions. We can't leave ourselves out, so this is a whole new paradigm, and everyone's learning that now, and it's happening across cultures, across everything right now. The people who have the ability to heal themselves and the time to heal themselves are doing that. So thank you for what you do. It's beautiful. Will you speak more to, so then you came out of it and then
and then I had to ask myself a question. So what do you want to do now? What does my creativity want? What does my soul want?
Yes.
And the message was clear that I had to come back to breath of love work, but breath of love work 2.0. Like how to bring receptivity, that deeper level of trauma healing into the work.
Yes.
And honestly, at first it was terrifying because for me that work was associated with burnout. I was like, no, I don't want to do this again.
Right.
So it took about another year to even learn how to do this work from a very nourished place where I receive as much as my client receives, if not more.
Right. Beautiful.
And now as I teach leadership trainings, like I bring in all these extraordinary leaders and healers and teachers. One of the biggest things we work on is how they could just receive and be filled up on the inside, because only then they overflow the greatness of the gift so much more fully. And then they can make a difference in a much bigger way. But they first have to let themselves come in and receive. And it's an energetic learning. It's a nervous system rewiring. It's not a mental thing where like, oh, I just receive now. It's like, how do we go in and change how energy moves through us, how our nervous system functions, how our whole physiology functions. So the life force and creativity can become this ever-flowing fountain through our being.
I love it. Will you do it? Can you give us a little sample?
Yeah, let's do a quick one, because usually it's,
I know.
1 or 2 hours, but let's
just to let people have a little sample, because it sounds so delicious and I feel the beautiful you coming through. I want to experience it. If you'd let me.
Okay. So just taking one long breath here to bring our attention to our bodies. And we're going to shift gears. Like we're actually going to start slowing down. For the next 5 to 7 minutes, we're going to slow down. The slowing down is going to change our brain state. And it can help us access the theta state more, which is where the deepest healing and repatterning happen. So slowing down is the key here. So let's take 3 more breaths with an intention to slow down and relax. Let the third inhale be even deeper, even fuller. Feel your whole belly expand as you breathe in.
Oh, I'm yawning.
Yawning is actually the parasympathetic response, which means you're starting to settle, which is very, very good. We want to settle and let ourselves relax. That fast-paced talking is really good for conversation, decision-making, moving in our world. But for healing, we need to actually slow down, at least in the healing that is available in the breath of love modality. And as you're slowing down, feel your butt, feel your butt cheeks pressing into the chair or couch, whatever you're sitting on. Just feel the weight of your body pressing through your butt cheeks, sinking into your seat. And wiggle your toes for a moment. Just let yourself feel them, become aware of them. Maybe some new sensations awaken in the body as you're wiggling your toes. Maybe not. It's okay. Just wiggling your toes, welcoming whatever is here. And sometimes just this very notion of slowing down can be so challenging for someone who lives in the brain every day, or who is a leader and needs to be in charge every day. So to let go and let down could be a big shift in itself. So just let yourself have 2 minutes of letting go, letting down, letting yourself sink downward. Nothing to do right now, nothing to figure out, nowhere to get. Notice one place in your body that's most willing to relax, most willing to soften right now. Maybe it's somewhere in the abdomen. Maybe it's in the chest. Maybe it's somewhere else. And into this place of spaciousness, you're going to bring in 12 breaths. We're going to breathe together. I'll count with you. 12 long inhales, effortless exhales. Let the exhale happen on its own accord. Just focus on the inhaling. So here we go. First breath coming in. 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. Make your inhale even longer as you breathe in. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. 11. And the last breath, make it the deepest, wildest, fullest inhale yet. And now just keep your eyes closed and feel, just feel the life force, pure intelligence of life moving through you, tingling in you, reorganizing you. The only trick is to not get in the way. Don't meddle with it. Don't try to do something. Can you let go of control here? Just for one last minute, can you let go of control? Let go of the ego mind. Let go of the personality. So something deeper, wiser can come through. Something much bigger, much vaster than your mind can even imagine. Breath can be whatever it wants to be. Let yourself be breathed by this vast intelligence of the universe that's here moving in you. Welcoming every sensation, whatever it is, let it be here exactly as it is right now. Safe to feel it all. It's safe to trust the power of your own soul, the power of your own destiny that is opening up within your being. And notice what feels good. Is there one place that feels more relaxed? Maybe there is a place that's tingling in some enjoyable way. Maybe there's an emotional quality of peace that's here that feels good. Or maybe a feeling of expansiveness that you're experiencing. Notice what feels good right now and let yourself enjoy it fully. Receive it fully.
Mm.
This gift is here for you. This gift is here to flow through you into the world. The more you let yourself feel it, the more it can flow through you to nourish you and to bless the world around you.
Mm.
So with that, just take as much time as you like to enjoy whatever feels most enjoyable right now.
Wow.
And whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes, but it doesn't mean you have to come back to your old familiar reality. Keep getting to know this new you that wants to come through.
Mm. Mm.
Sometimes a lot of insight comes from this place, or a lot of creative new understandings or ideas. So journaling is a good place here, or just
Mm.
going outside and feeling into what is the clarity that's coming through you. Sometimes some answers that come. I've had people who have had questions and worries for years, and all of a sudden they get the answer they need in a
Mm.
session like this. Because the answer comes from the soul, from the deeper wisdom within.
Mm.
It really knows, it knows the way.
So beautiful. Mm. Mm. Thank you so much.
I want to acknowledge the power of the field that all of us are in, because it's not just me and it's not just you, it's the whole
Mm.
audience that's
Yes, I
listening with
feel
their
it. I feel it.
intentions, with their
Mm.
heart, with the breath, and that's what magnifies the power of it.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes when you do it by ourselves, it's really not it. It's the power of community that magnifies who we really are.
It's a beautiful feeling state that I'm experiencing. I have some tears come, and I feel the state that I feel when I'm in what I call prayer dance, when I'm just in my complete total presence of stillness and moving, and very much like just allowing the energy to move me. I feel like ready to do that right now. I'm like in my mode of whoa, expansiveness in every cell, just being in the body so deeply. Thank you so much. That was so beautiful. Oh my
Your
goodness.
creativity expressing through the art that you are bringing forth, which is the movement. May it be the same for everyone listens here now in their own unique way.
Yes. Wow. Such a gift.
And that was just 7 minutes. Imagine when we journey into it for like an hour or two, like lives change. They really do. And
Absolutely.
I'm so honored to bring this work to you, to your audience, because so many people don't know what's possible. They try talk therapy, they try yoga, they try meditation, and nothing really creates the shift they're longing for. So I love letting people know that this is available.
And I want to honor you because of what, you went through so much in order to bring it forward, and you got to heal, and now you have your joy. And it's like, it's such a gift finding your creative path, to everyone
Yeah.
who's listening. Sometimes we're so afraid of our wounds, and we're so afraid of the difficulties of our lives because they seem like they're never going to end. But if we explore other modalities, creative modalities of healing for ourselves, suddenly maybe you'll be teaching, maybe you'll be, next thing you know, you'll be a breath of life facilitator, everybody. I mean, you don't know what's going to happen, but if you take that risk and expose yourself really in a beautiful, safe way. And I love what you talked about with the trauma and the catharsis, and we have very similar views in JourneyDance. We don't push for catharsis. We just take the dance, wherever you take it where you need to take it. And if you go to catharsis, then great. And if you're not, then great. We say, like, we want people to really, some people need to feel because they've been so numbed out for so long. And other people have the autonomic, nervous system setting them up for, trigger. So they have to shift that. So I love that we have all these amazing modalities in which to create from. And then here I feel incredibly inspired right now. Like, I feel this energy moving through me, and I'm like, whoa, I want to dance now. And
Yeah.
but from a deep place, from a really deep place, not a performative or, dance place, just from a feeling sensation place, and that's where I always want to dance from, sensation and this language of the body. And what you shared was so beautiful. Thank you so much for being on this.
That's my deepest mission on the planet, is to
I
let
feel
the
it.
divine express through us. And that is a creative expression, not of our personalities, but the bigger essence of who we really are. And life is dance in my eyes. It's a
Yes,
dance.
it is.
So how can we learn to dance from the depth of our soul, not from our angst?
Beautiful. And turn it into art wherever possible, which you did.
Exactly.
I mean, you really did turn your angst into art.
Yeah.
And that's an amazing thing to me. And I think that's the key for all people to find their path, is to go sometimes into the darkness and to emerge.
I think that's the only way. Like, if you avoid darkness or push it away, you never heal it. And then there's no creativity.
Right. The shadow.
Like, a lot of people who come to me who are stuck creatively, the only reason they're stuck because they don't know how to face the shadow, because they don't have tools, or they don't have a safe container to really heal the shadow. But you've got to look at the shadow and feel it and bring healing to it. And then an enormous amount of creativity.
Absolutely. Oh, that's my favorite thing, is creating from those places, because some of the most beautiful music and art and dance and storytelling, it has, an element of the hero's journey in it, where there's some kind of a journey happening and some kind of a transformation happening. So thank you for being.
Maybe I can send you this song. I gotta ask this musician if he's okay with that, but this is someone who was in the Breath of Love leadership training with me. And after one of the Breath of Love sessions, he just went outside, he took his guitar. Yes. The most beautiful song came through. Oh my God, it's so beautiful. It's channeled. It's brought through the. Oh, please share it.
If you would share it with this audience.
It's a true blessing for the planet.
They would be amazed.
I'll ask him if I'm allowed to share it.
Okay. All right.
But it's incredible. But I can still share it. People can, pay $1 or $2 on iTunes, whatever is available.
Yeah, exactly. Just share it with us. Yes, please. As part of your free gift. So yeah, please. A channel.
Yeah, it's just as an example, like what becomes possible when we let go of our issues and angst and open up to the greater wisdom. Incredible beauty gets created for the world.
Absolutely. I'm so with you. So thank you so much for being here with me. I feel so shifted in my own day as well, from just doing that 5 to 7 minutes of, what could be a very long, beautiful, I'm sure, journey, which I will go on for sure. And I know that Julia is going to give us some free gifts. So they'll be below this video. You'll be able to she's going to give us, I think, 1 or 2 meditations and a way to connect with her in the future. Do you want to speak a little bit about what you're going to give?
Yeah, so there's one meditation called Heart's Desires, which is really how to follow your flow of creativity, which to me comes from the heart, from the soul, from the deeper wisdom within. And the other one is Healing Our World, which actually for me is connected to our creativity, because when we allow our creativity to flow, I do believe it's always flowing to benefit the planet. I believe that fully. So the second meditation is Healing the World. And then there are to talks that go along to help you get the most out of the meditations.
Oh, thank you so much.
And now I'll
be
also
so
try
happy.
to add this song.
Great.
It's
Yeah. Add the song.
So free. How to be free.
Okay, great. And my audience loves music so much as I do. And I'm sure that your audience will maybe come and dance with me sometime, and we'll merge and we'll do breath work into dancing, because now I feel all inspired.
You got it. Yes.
Yeah. So we are going to say thank you to you in our traditional way that we do. We do this thing called the moi. So we go like this, we rub our hands together and we go Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in, and we'll be back with some more interviews very soon. Thank you so much, Julia.
Thank you. Thank you to everyone.
So appreciate it. Hey, everybody. Oh my God, wasn't that a beautiful interview? Oh my God, her energy is so sweet. And what I really, I'm doing the biggest takeaway after each one. And my biggest takeaway from talking to Julia is that creativity really comes from this deep place within us. When we make art, we make it, with maybe something in mind, but at the end of the day, creativity really comes from this deep place within us of our soul. So I want to encourage you to experiment with creating in a new way, maybe from a place of silence or a place of deep soul work, whatever you really need to do. So thank you so much for watching. Joy and I are going to be interviewing a whole bunch more people. Oh my God, Summit is just incredible. Artists and activists and comedians and singers. And oh my God, I'm so excited to share this with you. And we'll see you for the next interviews. All right, everybody. Bye. Mwah.